Hey, I'm Sarah, and this is the Goddess in Training podcast. This isn't about being perfect or polished or having it all figured out. This is about what happens when you actually start listening to your body, your intuition, your patterns, your truth. I'm asking big questions and having real conversations, sometimes messy and sometimes magical, with people who've lived through it, grown through it, and still don't have all the answers. If you've ever doubted yourself, betrayed your gut, or wondered if you're the only one, you're not. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Goddess in Training. I'm your host, Sarah, and today I have one of my favorite humans with me, my friend Josh, who you may know as Dorian Slay. I met Josh not long after I moved to the Blue Ridge Mountains. On a whim, I wandered into a witchcraft class he was teaching, protection spells, to be exact, and honestly, it changed the trajectory of a lot of things for me. So, when he told me he was making music, I was not even a little surprised because everything Josh does carries that same energy, intentional, transformative, and a little bit magic. Josh is a pop artist and leukemia survivor who released his debut album Ascension in 2025, a record born from the literal experience of coming back from the dead twice. And now he's stepping into his next chapter with his sophomore album, In My Villain Era, dropping May 1st, Beltane for my fellow witches, and is a whole new sound. More dance pop, more raw, more unapologetically him. Today we're talking about transformation, what it actually looks like when you've been to the edge and come back, when you've survived betrayal, when you've stopped being the good guy in everyone else's story and started writing your own. Let's dive into it. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Goddess in Training. I'm your host, Sarah, and today I am here with my absolutely fabulous friend, Josh, who also goes by Dorian Slay. And I met Josh when I first moved here to the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I just on a whim went to a class about spells, witchcraft that he was hosting, and
Protection spells.
protection spells. And it was so much fun, and that got me down this rabbit hole. And so when Josh told me he was making music, I got so excited. And so now he's on album number 2. And so today we're going to talk about the main theme, I think, is transformation, right?
It is,
because
transformation.
you have been through so much in your life. And I love too that witchcraft and spells mirror that same kind of transformation, right?
They
like it's all
really,
about alchemy.
witchcraft really saved my life.
Wow. So tell us more about that.
So it all started like when I was like in middle school, but back then I was like most baby witches back then, you know, the term baby witches on TikTok. I was like, oh, I can do this and that. But then it just kind of shifted. And then I realized it was more about healing. You know, it really just saved me. It really changed how I view life. And it's, like you said, very transformative. Now I'm at a stage in my life where I'm happy, you know, like I'm actually happy.
Happy, Josh. It sucks that we live in a world where people are like, whoa, I didn't know what it feels like to be happy. Here I am, and I am happy.
And I think happiness for people changes depending on like what stage you are in your life. I feel like when I was younger and in my 20s, like I was very shallow, but I feel like that's like every 20-year-old, you know, for the most part. But
they just don't know the world.
And then like my cancer battle really changed, definitely even transformed more of how I view life.
Tell the listeners more about that because you went through the ringer, really.
I did. I really did.
What,
so
like 2 near-death
just
experiences?
poked my eye out.
Oh, no.
Sorry. I'm okay. I'm alive. Sharp things. I love sharp things.
I don't think I've heard the whole story about what you went through.
So I was living in Houston, Texas, and I had a partner at the time, and then I collapsed. Well, so I started off, I felt like I had the flu, and I couldn't get off the couch, and then I ended up with pneumonia. Didn't know I had cancer, didn't know I had pneumonia. I had AML, leukemia. So I didn't know that I had any of these things. So, you know, I got to the point where I was like crawling to the bathtub. I almost drowned. That was terrifying. The animals were just sitting there watching me and like I was like, I can't get out of this tub and I'm slipping. But I managed to get out. So then after that, you know, like in the morning, I always want my coffee and I want a shower. You know, I'm a very clean freak. and I love my coffee. So I'm not well if I'm not making coffee. I'm not getting up to make coffee, and I'm not getting a shower.
Yeah.
Like, I could not get off the couch. I was so sick. And then that's where everything went blank. There was like a week that I don't remember. My oxygen was so low. I couldn't breathe. What had happened when I was unconscious? I apparently my partner at the time was going to work, and I left the door unlocked so the neighbor could check on me. And she said she found me. Was too sick to put clothes on, so I was naked. And there was a blanket over me. I guess I had fallen off the couch, and then a glass had shattered. Maybe I had a glass of water. I don't remember. But I remember that I was told that I was found no clothes on with a blanket over me, and the blanket was soaked, and there was glass shattered everywhere. So then I was non-responsive. So they airlifted me to the Houston hospital, and they immediately knew it was AML leukemia when they checked the blood. And then, but because I didn't have clothes on and didn't have my insurance card, they were going to let me die. And I had the insurance. So I'm all for free healthcare. Fight me.
Yeah, right.
I'm in my
Oh
villain
my
era, so
God.
try me.
Me too.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But that's my
I'm not
opinion.
kidding. They almost didn't treat you because you
They
didn't
were
have...
going to let me die. So they airlifted me from there to the Dallas hospital. And they immediately rushed me in. My hemoglobin was 1.8. My glucose was 20. And then I was pronounced dead later. They put me in a medical coma. Yeah, so I was dead. Medically dead. And I remember being dead. That was the weird part. Time doesn't exist when you're dead.
I'm not sure if time exists the way that we
I don't think it does, because one minute I would look outside, and then I would look out again. It was like daytime one minute, and then it was dark out another minute. It was really weird. And then, but you're not like aware that you're dead when you first die. It's like traumatic. And then my partner, who does not believe in ghosts at all, I'm psychic medium too. I think he always thought I was crazy, but he remembers me crying in the mirror, like in front of the mirror,
Wow.
and he could hear me. And so he got the neighbor who also didn't believe in ghosts, and she was like, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "I hear him crying. Where his body's not here though. Like, what the hell?"
Get home.
Yeah.
You
My soul was there, but my body was elsewhere. But I remember crying in front of the mirror. I was crying because I was breaking out. I was like, no, I'm like, see, I mean, this.
Your skin was breaking out.
Yes, because you don't have cells to fight it. So I kept breaking out.
So you weren't crying because you were dead.
I didn't know I was dead. I would have really cried about that. But I was like, why am I breaking out? Ew, a flaw. Ew, makes me nauseous. So I'm like crying. I didn't say it like I probably did. I don't remember. But I just remember crying. And then they didn't know. They just thought, oh my gosh, maybe he died in the bathroom. I don't know. And no, I died on the couch, stupid. And then my partner remembers me, like he was sleeping, right? And I was gone. And he heard like a big banging on the door. Then he rolls over in the bed and sees me smiling at him in the bed, and then I disappear. I would do some creepy shit like that. I'm not gonna lie. I would. I'd be like Wednesday Addams, and then poof, gone.
So you're in the medically induced coma in Dallas.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Oh, my mom. The first thing I know when I wake up from it, well, I was like dreaming about the people around me, and they were very bizarre dreams. They didn't really make sense. A lot of them were very disturbing. Some of them were just bizarre. I don't know. Then I was like dreaming about the people around me. I was dreaming about my grandmother, my grandfather, my mom. And the first thing I hear when I wake up, I look at my hands. My hands were swollen. They look like lobsters.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember my mom sounds like a valley girl, and she's like extra white. Like she's just like kiddo. It doesn't get whiter than kiddo. I love my mom to death. I love my mom. I love her to death. She's like grabbing my hand. My hands are sore, and she's like, "Josh, can you hear me? Can you hear me, kiddo?" PSL. She didn't say that, but I will say that hospital in Dallas, Medical City, is amazing.
Okay.
The staff there is amazing, and you will not believe it. They had pumpkin spice lattes on the menu from Starbucks year round. It wasn't even seasoned for that. So I did not believe when I woke up that I was alive. I thought I was like,
because pumpkin spice lattes.
I'm like, what level of heaven is this? Like, I mean, I'm in a hospital, sick and can't move really. I had to relearn to walk twice. But they had PSLs, like, is this heaven? Like, where are the hot angels? Where are you at? Call me. I have a scrying mirror, I have a little pocket one too. It's like a cell phone, Got it for my birthday last year.
But you came out of the coma,
Yes.
you woke up, but that was not the
I was
end of
intubated, so I couldn't talk, and I wasn't aware. So I'm like, "Why do they have? What is this?" My mom's
Right.
like, "No." And then the doctor was like, when I tried to talk, I was trying to communicate, but he told my mom that I would have brain damage and probably wouldn't be alive. Might as well just let me die, pretty much.
Wow.
But I had zero brain damage, which made no sense. So there were nurses and doctors come in, and they had like a window that you could see on the outside of the room,
Mm.
so they could observe. Because some people you had to watch this ICU, so they had to
Yeah.
watch you like constantly.
Right. Right.
And there were people coming in, and my mom is like panicking, like thinking something's wrong.
Mm.
She's like, what are they doing?
Mhm.
Is something wrong? And they're like, is that the same kid? And she's like, yeah. They're like, unbelievable. He should be
Wow.
dead. And then so when they finally took it out, can you one guess what my first word was?
I don't know. What was
You're
it?
like, there's no telling. And then my voice was
Of
raspy from
course.
it.
Yeah.
And my dad is like, oh, and I remember too, real quick, when I had the intubate thing and the tube down my throat, my brother, I think they wanted to make sure I was still in there.
Yeah.
My nails had overgrown, they were bad. And then my brother grabs my hand and he goes, Lady Gaga sucks. I jabbed my nail into his hand so hard, like fight. He's like, "Oh, he's fine." He yanked his hand back,
He's
laughing.
gonna be fine.
He's fine. And then my first word when they took the tube out was Starbucks. I want that PSL. And my dad is like, "Oh, he's back." I'm not kidding. That I remember that. Like to the I was like, my mom was like, "Oh, Lord, he's back. He's back. Look out, world."
So you had two near death experiences. So after the first one,
yeah,
you must be
so-
like we were like, why me? Did you have all those moments?
I didn't really like.
Yeah.
I would think I was just too tired to really
Yeah.
even go there with it.
Yeah.
I
So
think
you were still recovering when the
Yeah.
second incident.
so. That was like during my transplant. It was like after my transplant.
Okay.
So yeah, the transplant was amazing. So they found my donor. His name's Tom. Shout out to you, Tom.
I thought
Love you. My brother from another mother. We had like the exact same perfect match, which is
Wow.
extremely rare.
And how quickly did that happen?
It was like 6 months they found
Okay.
him, which was quick. I mean,
Yeah.
they never find a perfect match.
Uh-huh.
So Tom is in Wales. And what's
Tom.
weird, like in high school, I would literally, my teachers remember it. I keep in touch with my high school teachers.
Yeah.
There was a class called Comp Skills, which is like an hour and a half long, like study hall.
Yeah.
It was like an hour long. I don't know. So it was kind of cool, like for me
Yeah.
with really, really bad ADHD.
My son took something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing because you
Right.
can really catch up. But I would look up. I didn't really do my work, and then I was
Right.
bored. I was
Yeah.
a teenager, so I would look up Wales. I was like, I'm gonna live there one day, and I don't know why. I was just like, I've always been drawn to it. So it was like a full circle moment that my donor was from Wales and
Wow.
had a perfect match, which is
Wow.
extremely rare, to have an exact match. And it was cool because you could like see in the package
Yeah.
these little like neon glowing little germ looking things swishing around. They're like little fishes, and they're called smart cells. So they know automatically where to go. So they wipe your immune system out. And also too, I'm not allergic to cats anymore because he's not. I don't have allergies with pollen anymore at all. Like I'm fine.
Have you met Tom in person?
We FaceTimed and we keep in touch on WhatsApp. So he is awesome. And he's got the sweetest little son, his name's Joseph.
Oh my
And
God.
he goes, I just love their accent. I could listen to them talk all day. It's like, tell me what you know about Josh. And he's like, Josh is really pretty. And I was like, my heart. But he is adorable. I just want to look the little angel, little blonde angel. Like he was so sweet. And it was also like a weird thing that happened when I died the second time. You're not aware when you die.
So you go in for the transplant.
Yeah. So that was scary.
I'm sure.
I cried a lot on the way there. I was
Sure.
just thinking I wasn't ready to die. One thing I told my mom in Dallas still, she's like, "You died," and I was like, Mom, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not even famous yet. And here I am. So, and she was like, it's not funny. And I remember like pissing her off one time.
But she must have been frightened as well.
She quit her job and flew out there. It was really traumatic for her. She couldn't even watch hospital stuff.
Yeah.
And my brother, I always get like emotional with my brother. He told me that he would go to the gym and work out a lot, and he was like, I'm exhausted. She goes, if Josh can beat cancer, then I can. And I will cry thinking about it. I love them so much. Oh, so he ran that extra mile on the, the trip. Made my day, though.
Well, I mean, it is such an inspiration. You have been through so much. So what are your memories of that second near-death experience?
The second time. So it was weird. So I was like out of my body and wasn't aware. I still had an IV pole for some reason there. And they put me in the pediatric room because the room was
Does you look like you're
I look 12.
I mean,
I'm 32.
You still look like you're 20.
It's fun.
Unbelievable you're 32. Anyway, they put you in pediatrics.
Yeah, I tell people, they're like, what's your secret? I had a bartender tell me that. I'm like, I bathe in the blood of virgin queens. So it's like, don't worry, you've all had each other. There are no virgins here tonight. It's true. It's gay math. He slept with him. He's his cousin, but they're not effing. I don't know.
Okay, so you're in pediatrics.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have ADHD.
No.
So they put me in like the pediatric room,
Yeah.
and also so my partner could sleep next to me in the separate thing, but it was haunted. I'll get to that. So I wake up and then it's near Halloween. So, the veil is like, Halloween, Samhain, Muggles call it Halloween. We call it Samhain. And so the room, it's got like animals painted on the wall, like a safari. It was a really cute, really bright I needed that. Like the little things matter when you're really sick like that, like it's the little things. So I'm there and then I don't know I'm dead. And then this little girl dressed up like Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz comes in. She called herself Jocelyn. And so, I'm bored as hell. I'm sick of this place. I can't walk. I had to relearn to walk. That should have been like clue number one. I can't walk. Why am I walking? Oh, because I'm dead, but it doesn't occur to you, and I don't know why. That is not like astral projection, because when you astral project, you're tethered to your body still.
Right.
But when you die, like I don't know if it's like traumatic on the body or maybe because you're tethered to the body. I'm not sure. But I just remember telling Jocelyn, I'm like, this floor sucks. Do you want to go to the mental ward? And she's like, okay. Like she was very shy. So we go and I just remember, it was a little wild over there. I don't know if we just went there on a bad day, but it was crazy. And parts of it looked like we were in a different time. So like they just had the ugly mullet. I hate a mullet.
Oh.
Just don't do it.
They're back in fashion.
They should have stayed in the 80s or hell.
Yeah.
It's a fashion. Don't do it. I hate it. Nothing worse than a mullet.
No.
Other than a spider.
So you and Jocelyn are wandering around.
Yeah, so we're wandering. Yeah. And then I remember being like, oh my gosh, I'm walking. I have an IV pole. I said, I'm dead again. I was like, Jocelyn, this was so much fun. I hope you find the light. I gotta go. But if you want to hang around in the room still. And I didn't put two and two together that we were in a pediatric room and this little girl. So we come back and I wake up and I'm surrounded by friends and they're crying. And I'm like, get off me. What is going on? And they're like, you were dead. And the doctor apparently told my partner that arrange the funeral. You might as well arrange it because he's dead. He's pronounced dead. And then I'm back, bitches. Again. Can't keep a villain down.
So did witchcraft come into your life after all of this?
It's always been
because you were a baby witch.
Yeah. So yeah, it's always been, but it really changed my outlook. It really helped me a lot, And so they call it the Saturn returning when you are in your 30s.
Yeah.
I am at such peace right now.
Wow.
Oh, and I got to tell you what happened real quick about the Jocelyn. Yeah. So, Christmas comes around. I'm still unable to walk. I mean, I was bad. I was like peeing blood clots. Like there was so much. I think at one point my skin got so dry from the chemo that my neck was ripping. And it was a doctor's order, try not to move because they've seen people's spines come out. I'm already tiny, but I was way skinnier. I was like 95 pounds was the lowest I got. And I was gray. I looked like Roger off of, American Dad. I want some wine, So they had to like get medical tape and like tape my neck. I was ripping. And then at one point I had so much fluid in me that it was like soaking the bed from my legs. And I was just crying and it felt like I wet the bed, but I didn't, I mean, I did many times because I couldn't walk, but TMI. Yeah, it was just rough. And then I relearned to walk again eventually. It was tough,
So Jocelyn came back.
So I'd seen her a couple times. And my partner thought he saw something in the corner of his eye. It spooked him. So Christmas comes around, right? You would think on Christmas having cancer and, having the transplant all would suck. It was awesome. People feel sorry for you and they buy you whatever you want. I got a laptop. I got a Ninja coffee maker. I got everything I wanted. I got everything. So yeah, it's awesome. Like change my opinion. You can't because you didn't go through it. So it's amazing. You get everything you want. I should have asked for more. That's one of my regrets. I should have got like everything. So I had everything I wanted pretty much, and then, I remember my partner like, well, you got to get better so we can, you can do this, you can do all this stuff. So you can use that Ninja coffee maker. You can't have coffee when you're doing that. It was
Yeah.
I tried to get friends to like con them into bringing it, not telling them, but the nurses were so good about it. Shout out to the VCU nurses. I love y'all too. But I deserved that coffee. Just letting you know.
So the Ninja coffee maker was incentive too.
It was. See, I couldn't move my fingers well. So I was playing a DS to like before I got my Switch. I love this, my favorite toy. So it would help my fingers a lot.
Yeah.
The doctor's like, it's good for him. They're like, you're gonna let your brain rot. I was like, it's already rotted.
Right.
Leave me alone.
Almost died. I died twice.
If I die playing a video game, there's worse ways dying, And then I remember, after I get all this stuff, it's coming around New Year's, and my partner like opened up the cabinet, the cubby thing that they never opened. Guess what? One guess that was sitting there. Girls' ruby slippers with the tags still on it, with dust piled up. And, I thought it was a prank, at first. My partner likes to prank me a lot too when we were together. You like wipe the dust to prove, but keep it away because that'll like mess with me, with my immune system being so weak. So yeah,
wow.
I think people were like, oh yeah, he's on a lot of hospital drugs. But then there was proof. There was a physical proof. And then so my album Ascension, it had a multiple meanings. So a lot of the themes on it are very witchy, very like futuristic, but it was also about me like ascending to my higher self.
Yeah.
It was an ascension.
I was in the hospital recently over the summer. I had necrotizing fasciitis in the hospital
What
in
even
Costa
is
Rica.
that?
It's a flesh-eating bacteria. I was there for 2 weeks and had surgery. So anyway, not nearly what you went through, but any time that you spend, anytime you spend in the hospital is traumatic. And it's this liminal period. It's this period where you can't do anything and where you don't really feel like yourself and you have no control whatsoever. You just have to surrender. And that is so symbolic in so many stories about ascension, right? You go down and you sit with yourself and that's all
scary.
you can do.
And you think about mortality.
Right. And then you had these near-death experiences where you ascended in a way, but then came back. And so it makes sense that that's your first album, right?
Yeah, Ascension.
Because you went through so much. What was the process of making the album, and was that therapeutic for you?
In a way, it was all new at the time because it was just my first album. So with all albums in general for me so far, writing them is the fun part. Recording them, making beats, and just letting it happen is the fun part. The little tweaks and stuff are very stressful at the end, and I hate it. I hate that part of it. But the end product ends up good.
Was it therapeutic, the whole process?
Yes. Yeah, I would say so. I would say just because it was so new and it was my first time, it was surreal. I feel like my latest album is more therapeutic than the other one. The other one was just more fun. This one was fun too, but this one, the new one, In My Villain Era.
Yeah. Obviously.
Take that. There's a lot that went into that. That one's
so
more.
You feel it like it's closer to your heart.
Yeah, that one felt like Ascension was more. It was more fun, but I guess it was very healing too. But these songs from In My Villain Era, I feel like they're more authentically me. I just feel like you get to see more raw side of me is what I'm trying to say. This new album's more raw. And the other one was more like witchy and coming into your power, ascending. And then this one is more about heartbreak and the rage that I've alchemized and transmuted into something positive. Because like when I was a teenager, I belonged on Dr. Phil. You need some professional help.
Not your finger?
That's like more trashy. I'm just kidding. No, we love Jerry Springer. I love Jerry Springer. One time saw a bar fight and I had like I'm a lightweight, so like I'm like a one and done kind of dude, and I had 3 drinks.
Cheap date.
I am very cheap. I'm single, but no. So I had 3 drinks that night. So I was wasted. I was Lindsay Lohan, is what my friends call me when I'm drunk. They call it's not me, it's Lindsay. They're like, Lindsay, is that you, girl? I'm hanging on the bar. It's a mess. I just remember like someone yanking my Juicy Couture backpack, and I realized it was my brother pulling me back, and I was like, get off. I was like, oh. He's like, there's a fight, stupid. And I was like, oh, it's like 2 girls got into a big fight. And then drunk me goes, Jerry. And then this one girl's like, I'm done. I was like, you want to be friends? She's like, absolutely. It was so fun, though.
Relationships are such a learning experience and also ripe ground for transformation.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about what you went through that then birthed this album.
So, how do I put it? Have you ever dated somebody and then they do something to you and then they turn around and play the victim about it?
Yes.
I hate that. It makes me so angry.
And it's that gaslighting.
It's gaslight. Textbook definition.
Right. That makes you, I've been there where you feel like you don't really know what's true anymore.
Well, I've gotten to a point where like in my life now where I can instantly know.
Right.
And I call it out. No one will ever do that to me again. I will not have it.
It takes time though.
Yeah, it really changes you. And I feel like I'm always like in fight or flight mode and until I can like get to know someone enough to trust them. But it's affected my dating life. I don't trust well, but I feel like this album has really helped me process and heal from that.
Well, a lot of people that I've talked to who have gone through that, and I had a little bit of this myself, is you lose touch with your intuition.
You do.
And we talk about intuition a lot on this show. And because you think everything is fine and you love this person and you're walking along this path and then it just gets turned completely upside down.
Yeah.
And so you have these
You
moments
lose yourself.
where you're like, why did I not see this?
Yeah.
And so then you're like, well, if I didn't see the true reality of this person for so long, how can I trust my instincts at all?
Yeah. But the thing is, they've programmed you to feel that way. And so it's not your fault. So if you're going through that, it's not your fault. It's them. And I feel like that was a big hard pill for me to swallow. Like, it's not me, it's you. Like, I feel like that's so like a narcissistic thing to say, but if it's true, it's true. It's almost like when people are like, it's not me, it's you. That's what I think of when I hear that. But if it's true, it's true. If somebody is gaslighting you, that's not okay. So I feel like this album is very, like, I'm okay with now in my life with being the villain in somebody's story. Like, I genuinely, I'm at a point now where I don't care what people think. Like, you don't like me?
Right.
I don't care,
Right.
but I'm okay with being the villain, but they're a clown in mine.
I've had to get to that place too, where like, you know what, when
your peace is more important.
When you break up with somebody, you have no control over the narrative that they're going to tell.
But you can reclaim it.
But you have your own knowing. You know your own story.
Yeah.
And so how has it been empowering
Very.
to be like, I am the villain, motherfuckers.
Pretty much. Yeah. Take that. That's how I feel about it. It's very like liberating. Like, it's almost like, okay, you've said your piece playing the victim. Now it's my turn, So it's just very, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, the album was really healing, but the whole album's not about, those are the themes that I picked. Because when I'm writing an album, I'll be like, okay, what do I want to say? What are the themes? So I'll pick like 3 and try to stay within that range. But there's a track called Misbehaving on it. And it's about just being free and, tonight I'm misbehaving. I'm going to do what I want and you can't stop me. I'm going to dance the night away,
It is also empowering. The last night that I did that, I kissed a guy in a banana costume.
No way. Did he go, it's peanut butter jelly time, way, peanut butter jelly.
I had so much tequila, I may not have known.
Oh my gosh. There's a song called Peanut Butter and Jelly on it too.
On your
album.
What's that about?
Being dirty in a kitchen. So they're not all about.
That's fun.
It's fun. It's the kitchen lights down low.
So this album is a little like PG-13.
Yeah, I would say, kids could probably listen to it because the way I wrote it, you're not going to be able to. If you know, you know.
So it's kind of like kids singing Pink Pony Club.
Pretty much, yeah. Or
yeah.
do you remember the Britney Spears song, If You Seek Amy? I was like 25 when I realized what it really meant. I thought, who's Amy? Who Amy? Who is
Oh, I don't know that
if
song.
you say, if you seek Amy really fast, what does it sound like? Yeah, do you know what I mean?
No, say
You seek Amy. She's saying, love me, hate me, say what you want about me. All of the boys and all the girls are begging to if you seek Amy. I'm like,
if you see Amy.
I didn't know who wrote that. Whoever wrote that, I don't know if she wrote it. I don't know if somebody else wrote it, but that you're a genius and you deserve your flowers. Please come out and expose yourself. Because
Went way over my
I
head.
did too. I was singing it so I feel like a lot of my songs, some of them are not like in your face about it. It's just there are a few bad words on some of them.
What's your favorite song on the album?
Probably Villain. I love Villain, but there's one that is sad. If I make a sad song, I usually want it to be able to dance to. It's called Spite. It's kind of just like a conglomerate of things. It's not really about a particular person. When I wrote the album, I'm like, I'm thriving in spite right now, like, so that's kind of what it's about. But it's about like maybe certain family members that have hurt me that I'm like, I prevail. I'm here, like I'm still going, but I like peanut butter and jelly too. That one's a lot of fun.
I can't wait to hear that one. That
It's
one
catchy.
sounds so fun.
That's my mom's favorite, but I don't think she's heard the lyrics yet. So, like one time she heard my song Calvin's Drop, and she loved it until she heard the lyrics. She paid it. She was Joshua Weston, turn this off, and I was like, "What, Mom? But you like it?" She's like, "That's." Shame on you. And I was like, you need to make something family can listen to. I was like, well, I'm not Hannah Montana. Life's what you make it. I made it filthy.
So you lived through dying twice.
Yes.
And this is your second album. And when you died, you said, well, I have to come back because I'm not famous yet.
Yeah, not
and
yet.
So what are you manifesting with this album? I mean, what is your dream to explode and become the next? Well, you don't want to be Britney Spears.
No, I want to be me.
Yeah.
Tell
me what.
I don't know, my new album, my sound engineer was shout out to the arsonist. You rock, dude. He was saying that, and I've had more than one person say my vocals have gotten better. If I were to compare that new album to like, say if like Lady Gaga and The Weeknd had a baby, like a gay baby, it would kind of sound like that. I think the sound is. But then I've also gotten like on Villain, one of my best friends in the whole wide world, Devin, said that he heard it for the first time and he goes, I feel like you were listening to Kesha Cannibal, the album Cannibal, when you wrote this. I'm like, I can kind of see it. It's the beat probably, but but I feel like I've kind of just made my own thing, like I'm not trying to be anybody. I'm not trying to compare to anybody. But I think it's good when people are comparing you to people because that means it sounds good. And I write all of my stuff. I'm like writing every day. Like I had like maybe 15 or 16 tracks, but I've narrowed it down to 9 for the album. Maybe I'll do a deluxe. Maybe there'll be singles. I don't know. Okay. There's some collabs in the works. So I'm excited.
So you were really great at writing spells.
Yes.
Because you were giving us in your witchcraft classes, protection spells. And have you used any spells as lyrics for your songs?
Thought about that, but I've kind of think like songs kind of are spells in a way. Spells came to me first, and I always kind of wrote music. I've always made beats. I just never really thought about recording it until a couple years ago.
Last October that your first album came out, right?
It was August 9th under the full moon. Yeah. Yeah. It's done really well.
This one is coming out May 9th. That's not a full moon,
no,
is
May
it?
1st.
May 1st.
Yes.
Is that a full moon?
It's Beltane.
Oh, right. I am a bad witch.
Okay, no. I have a song called that too, Bad Witches. Dudley Savage.
And so tell the listeners the significance of that.
So Beltane is, from what I know it as, the first day of spring, I believe. And there's a lot of traditions with it. There's the maypole, which is such a beautiful, regal thing to watch. It's where they have the ribbons tied to the pole, I think it's the maypole is what they call it. Yeah. There's usually a fire spring when all the spiders come back from hibernating in hell.
Yeah, well, it's the time of transformation, right?
I know. I hate spiders. I can deal with a snake. I can deal with a haunted house.
Spiders are kind of villains, Josh.
Nothing should have that many legs. Okay, it's an abomination. I'm trying to work on my fear because like I feel guilty like when I see them in my space. I'm terrified of them. But yeah, I don't do spiders.
Yeah.
My mom is even like, how can you deal with ghosts but you can't deal with a spider? And I'm like, because I got spells to deal with them.
How many spells that work on spiders?
I should write one to
You should.
banish them. Use peppermint. I'm gonna do this. I'll make a death potion that you spray them. I'm just kidding. No, it's terrible. I would rather ward them away.
Yeah.
And that might be you've inspired me. I'm gonna do that.
What do you have planned for the launch on May 1st?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I think I may just go out and party. I don't know. Maybe.
Well, so
Like, go
tell me
celebrate.
about your love life now. Now that you are in your villain era, are you approaching relationships in a different way?
Yes and no. Like, I felt very isolated, actually. I've always been a confident person, and I think, like, within the gay community, there's a lot of insecurity. I don't know, it's just something that's there, that's always kind of been there with the gay community. There's a lot of insecurity, but I can't really relate to that. Not to sound cocky or anything, but,
Yeah.
like, in a humble way. I'm a confident person, and I also, like, I'm a big believer you shouldn't dilute yourself for someone to like you. The right people are gonna come into your tribe, But I've felt very isolated though, especially since I've done music, because I've had guys tell me that they're like, "What do I have to offer?" I'm like, "I'm lonely." Or like I've noticed they'll like flirt with me and then they'll kind of go ghost, but then they'll view my stories. Like, I see you, you know.
Come
But
out of the stories and
yeah,
the DMs.
come out the woodwork. Yeah, for real, But no, like I've noticed that. So it's been very isolating. I hang out with friends and I buy pretty rocks. But I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable being single. Like it's a lot that I don't have to deal with, but I'm open to dating still. Just I don't know. Like I've felt very alone since I've done it, but it's given me more time to write more and you know,
Maybe that's where your energy is meant to be focused
maybe
right
everything
now.
happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm meant to write something.
And then you're going to explode and go out to LA.
Oh, I am going in LA in January of next year.
Oh,
I'm super excited. There'll be a lot of A&R reps there where I'm going.
okay. What's A&R?
So they're the people that kind of get you into the music industry with the labels. Von Dupree from he discovered Ice Spice.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you know who
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
We love Ice Spice.
Of course, yeah.
So he said he played my song Calvin's Drop on his live and said he liked it, and it was awesome. I was really
Wow.
happy. So, but I'm gonna go in January of next year with my sound engineer, the Arsonist. We're gonna go to this event where there'll be a lot of A&R reps there. There'll be a lot of label people. So it's like where you go to kind of mingle and connect with people and build relationships. So I'm really excited about that for next year. My goal with this album is, my best friend Devin said yesterday, he's like, I feel like it's going to be a sleeper album at first because I'm not like huge, but streams I had like 730 streams in 1 month last
Wow,
month. So
that's great.
that's just 1 month. So they're climbing like nonstop. So I mean, doing something right with it, I think. But he said he thinks it's going to be a sleeper album, meaning people aren't going to pay attention at first, but then eventually one of them's going to go viral and then it's going to blow up. People are like, oh, I was sleeping on him. But who knows? Maybe it'll blow up instantly. You never know. So it just takes that one.
That's right. That's right. That's how I feel about my podcast. Maybe this is the one that's going to make Goddess in Training and Dorian Slay take off.
That'll be awesome. Well, if I blow up first, I'm going to give you the shout out and be like, you guys got to check this out. Goddess in Training. I'm all about building people up. I love,
me too.
I'm always rooting for people in my circles,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what life is all about. And, that's what manifestation is about too. You help other people and you uplift them. And then all of that positive energy comes
it just
back
comes
to you.
back in quadruples. It's also like with like gratitude too. Like I am so grateful every day when I wake up. I've got good health, like what's not to be grateful for? Like can make music, I could do anything, and I'm just really grateful for that. I enjoy the little things in life. I don't know, like it's just I don't want to cry, but coming back from the dead twice really changes your outlook and it makes you appreciate life more. And life is precious. We could be here one day, we could be gone another. We could be waking up in a hospital intubated another minute, So it's just one of those things where never take it for granted.
Yeah.
Because, and always tell the people you love them too, because we could die, but they could too. I think about death a lot.
I'm
So
sure you do.
I know it sounds morbid, but it's like, if there's somebody I love, I never want to leave a conversation with them angry or ugly. And it always makes me watch what I say with people. And also too, like, if you just spread I know this doesn't sound very villain of me, but spread kindness, because like, it's free. Just if you can make someone smile, make them smile.
And you make people smile all the time. That's what I love about your
unaware
classes.
of things.
So, because it was just a comedy show. I laughed so fun. And I think you are just such a vibrant light. And I love you so much. And thank you so much for sharing this time with us.
I love you so much. I didn't mean to poke you.
So, manifested right now, this album, maybe not right away, but in a little while, it's going to take off, and we're all going to be cheering for you.
Thank you so much. I'll be cheering for you always.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Goddess in Training. I hope something in this episode stirred your knowing or softened your heart. If it spoke to you, share it with someone who needs it, or leave a review or comment to help others find us. If you're watching on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to hear more conversations like this, please consider supporting Goddess in Training on Patreon. For more tools and offerings to deepen your intuition practice, visit goddessintraining.online. You can also join the Scroll of Seshat on Substack for twice-weekly stories of how I followed my intuition. The music for Goddess in Training is Madre Ayahuasca by Arkawa, and you can find more of his music in the link to his website in the show notes. Remember, your intuition is not a mystery, it's a memory. Keep listening. Resplandor del fuego, estrellita, tabaco santo, fuerza de rapel, soplo de luz, soplo encantado, viajecito bendito.